So we broke a story on the website today that, frankly, we have been working on now for 3 days. Britney Spears is in trouble. And there such concern now among friends and family that the people around her were planning an intervention. And this has to do with both her mental health and substance abuse. But one person told us they are afraid that she could die. I mean, that's how alarming this is.
Which is why the people around her, and by the way, these people include people that she works with, include Sam, and they had planned out this intervention so much so they had a location.
Not only a location, Charles, but they
and a plan.
The manager, her manager, had actually rented a house fairly close to where her house is now for a couple of months, specifically to bring her to that house, do the intervention, and then hopefully have her stay there for several months.
Care.
In a sense,
well, I guess inpatient. Yeah.
I mean, it's doing all of the work in the house, both physical and mental. That for a couple of months, that's what they were planning, and that's how alarming this was. That she was showing signs of, volatility, just there was erratic behavior, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse to the point where this intervention was being seriously planned and was supposed to go down on Tuesday.
And for whatever reason, that plan changed because we know that the intervention plan was totally scrapped. And that's the weird thing, is we can't get an exact answer as to why it went from, hey, we're afraid she's going to die, to, you know what, Wednesday night, let's set her up. She saw a doctor last night. We know, we're not sure if it was a therapist or a physician. We're told that meeting with that doctor went well, but it was from one extreme to something not as seemingly serious, and it's just very odd that things changed.
And I think we should be clear that the concerns are still very serious. What we don't, the thing we haven't figured out yet is why they changed from the intervention to just having her meet with this one doctor, but the concerns weren't any less.
Well,
this was just the route that was taken.
I can only say so much just because of, or sourcing and whatnot. There's a conflict here. There are still people in Britney's world who believe very strongly that this intervention needs to happen. It has been, it has been put on ice for now, but there are people around her who are not happy about that decision. What triggered that decision, can't really say. But there are people who feel like you say, you can't go from being on a ledge to all of a sudden being okay in a day or two.
People saying that they are concerned that she might die, that concern didn't just go away. But yeah, you're right, that there's conflict. By the way, Sam posted this video last night. He posted it, which doesn't mean this is when they actually went to Target, but it looks like everything's just fine and dandy as they're shopping. Now, you may see that video and think,
everything's fine.
Everything's fine, and maybe that's the impression that Britney wants to give, but we know that there are people around her who say everything is not fine.
Well, this was, and again, we have talked to multiple people about this. This is not like one, fringe source. We are talking multiple people. This really is going on right now. And it really raises an issue that we should talk about for a second, which is the conservatorship. That, look, the Free Britney movement was very powerful, and she got a lawyer and got out of this conservatorship. What is interesting about that is, there were a bunch of doctors who were regularly weighing in with the court over 13 years saying that this conservatorship is appropriate. Now, what's interesting is when the judge ended the conservatorship, she never heard from, never said, let's do a status evaluation. Didn't happen. And it's almost like the wave kind of washed over the judge. Now, I'm not saying, because I am not a doctor, and I'm not saying that conservatorship shouldn't have ended. I think what we can say is maybe the casting wasn't right, certainly toward the end, that the people running it should have been different because Britney was miserable. Whether there should have been a conservatorship continuing, the doctors never weighed in on that. It was just this kind of wave where everybody said, let's just end it, and the judge said, okay.
And if the conservatorship had been recast, or, maybe Britney would be fine. being would be, and we know she expressed it in court, how unhappy she was with the conservatorship
miserable.
as it was.
Yeah.
And that does have to be addressed. But was dissolving it the right answer, or was there a half step, which would have been to recast it? And
this is not a good situation. This is what we are hearing from everybody right now.
Hi, I'm Sebastian from Virginia, and if the situation called for an intervention, then I hope Britney really gets the help she needs, and I just hope she knows people care about her and want the best for her.
And I think that's true. I think everybody does. Again, there is a conflict going on right now in her world over this.